I'm Ray.
And I'm Lori, and this is our story.
Tell us what life was like before Christ.
Horrible. Exhausting. I would just call it a train wreck.
Yeah, I would piggyback off of that. I could feel like this hole in my life that no matter what I did, I couldn't feel. No matter what I bought, no matter what I drank, I just couldn't feel it, and I couldn't understand why. Then I started blaming the past and started blaming everyone and thought the world owed me something, and that's the reason why my hole couldn't get filled. So it was quite dark, but I didn't understand the darkness at that time.
Even though I've been going through things and it's been a little roller coaster, but I know that God's with me. It's different when you have God with you in the middle of stuff. I feel like I've been tested in different ways. I've never went back to the way it was before. It's just like not as bad, but because God's with me in it, in the storm, you know what I mean? I think God's fingerprint is actually all over me and Ray because people see it all the time.
The fingerprint is I made a very bad decision by coming to Kansas. That's how I ended up here. Boy, I gotta take the glasses off of this. On my way out here, I didn't care about nobody. I had a great job. I came from California. I had a great job, great family, but I had a lot of issues inside that I kept bottled up, and I was done inside. So on the way out here, yeah, I didn't care two craps about nobody. I hit Liberal, Kansas, and stayed with my mom, me and the wife. You know, we're talking over the phone. She's freaking out, like, where'd you go? You know, I'm in Kansas, so it was bad, man.
So you're back in California at this point?
Yes, I was at work and I got off work and made a phone call and he said I'm going to Kansas, and I was like, I didn't know what hit me. He was just gone.
You know, I look back and it was, I'm like, what the heck? But man, I tell you, I know this sounds nuts, but if I didn't do what I did, and then we got together to find the Lord, I don't think we would be together today.
At the time, it did not feel good.
No.
It felt like
it was bad.
Years later, now that I look back, it was always God's plan. It was so ugly, and I didn't understand it. I mean, I held so much resentment and pain, and until we got saved. Like now, I mean, like I look back and it's a whole new merit. Like I don't even feel that pain. It's not even there.
Yeah,
it's like he took it all away, all the hate, but he gave us a whole new life.
At the end of the day, if you lay it at the feet of Christ, and you really lay it at the feet of Christ, not half-hearted, 1 foot in, 1 foot out, you really gotta lay it all on the line. Don't seek God, it's a Bob down the street, that's your local gas. Seek the Lord and lay it down at the feet, and I tell you what, the results is unbelievable. You know, it's crazy, and I got done talking to the guy that's looking at me with the camera here, that it's weird to me that at the end of the day, you give a testimony like this and you say, man, just come to the Lord with all your heart, all your mind, lay it down, and I tell you what, your life will change, and people look at you like you're crazy. Oh, it's that easy? No, I didn't say it was easy. But it's far from being easy. But at the end of the day, you gotta fear the Lord. And I think that's one of the biggest problems that we have yet in the church, is that we don't fear the Lord. The Bible says fear. See, everyone wants a bumper sticker Jesus. It's not a bumper sticker Jesus. So if you're not bearing good fruit on your tree, then you just don't know Jesus. What it is you want this over here as well as him. No, that's not how it works. You gotta knock that out of your life, lay it all down, and choose him. You can't live both sides of the world. And we wake up in the world, we work in the world, I get it, but you have to fear him. God giveth and he takes it away, and he'll bring you down to your knees. To kind of give you an example, I was in love with my 2015 Chrysler 200, right? And it gets repoed. Right? Bullcrap, you not, gets repoed. But then like 6 months later, after my Chrysler 200 gets repoed, this lady at work says, hey, I have my mom, she can't afford the payments on her car. Do you want to check it out? Absolutely, right? I go over there And guess what it is? A Chrysler 200. And check this out. It had less miles and a lower payment. It had navigation. So it was better. So it was better than the Chrysler 200 I had. And so the Lord was taking a bad situation that I put myself in, and He showed me such grace at that point in time.
Everything that we had lost, because we really hit rock bottom, He returned like tenfold. And I mean, we have just been going nowhere but up since then.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's like,
Yeah. I know it sounds crazy and weird for the people that's watching this, of how does that happen? You literally have to lay it all down and give up all control and power. And that was the hard part for me.
There's no words to describe what Christ has done in my life. I mean, it's just, in both of our lives, God's good.
Yeah. Amen.
Ray and Lori discussed in their story about how their perspective was set on the things of this world. But what about you? What set of values determine your schedule? What view of life determines how you make decisions? What perspective shapes your everyday priorities in what you do and the things that you say? But then there are those times in life, right, where things seem to be going okay, like life sort of feels like it's on cruise control, and you start to ask the question, and this was what Ray was asking, like life was good, man. He lived in California, he had this great job. You start to ask the question, man, is this as good as it gets? If this is it, man, I'm going to get mine. So we start filling our lives with lesser things. For Ray, it was a Chrysler 200. Maybe for you, it was a lifestyle that you can't afford. An obsession with promotions and clothes and boats and new homes. I don't know. But you do. So let's all be honest right here, right now. What do you tell yourself that you do not have, but you cannot live without? What are the if-onlys that you carry around with you every single day, that you allow to shape the way you think and behave? Like, if only I had blank, then my life would be blank. What do you fill them with? Are you the person today that would say, you know what, man, I fill my mind with all of this knowledge so that I know I can win any debate? Or I fill my time with more work so I can prove to you that I have worth? I fill my life with idols because what I'm not really willing to admit is that I don't trust that Jesus is enough. At street level, what is happening is you and I, we are either worshiping and serving creation or the Creator. Our desires drive our behaviors. Jesus would say in Matthew 6, wherever your treasure is, there the desires of your heart will also be. Paul is pleading with us today to live with heaven's perspective, to look through eternal lenses in every single situation in our lives, even the ones that seem mundane. But like Ray and Lori, you and I have a tendency to sort of resort back to this unhealthy version of escapism. Life gets crazy and it can feel chaotic. And so we just look for ways to escape. Maybe for you, man, you're the person you've really, truly suffered injustices and cruelties in your life. Maybe you came into this place today bearing the heavy burdens of stress, financial concern, and worry. You're experiencing anxiety and this fear that just seems to go on without relief. And so you're just looking for ways to escape. So you go to these quick feel-good fixes. Maybe you bury your nose in social media or romance novels or the alcohol cabinet. Or maybe it's that bag of Oreos, and I'm talking like the whole row, y'all. You know what I'm talking about. Retail therapy or Netflix binges. Whatever we try to fill ourselves with to distract us, to escape reality. Happiness for a bit, maybe, but joy is different. So Paul is encouraging us to stop seeking the things and shallow experience that this world offers. Your best efforts for temporary happiness might outlast your happenings, but will never fill that void. Temporary escapes will not bring you joy. Jesus will. Set your sights, Paul says, on the realities of heaven. C.S. Lewis would say in his book, Mere Christianity, it is since Christians have largely ceased to think of the other world that they become so ineffective in this one. Aim at heaven and you will get earth thrown in. Aim at earth and you will get neither. So friend, again, I ask, where is your gaze fixed in this life right now? Is it on the things of heaven? Paul says, for you died to this life, and your real life is hidden with Christ in God. And when Christ, who is your life, is revealed to the whole world, you will share in all of his glory. Paul is saying, in the craziness of this life, in this world, this temporary world that we live in, remember what is real. What Christ has done for you is not some future wish. It is a present reality. Christ is your new identity. Heaven is your new address. Your citizenship is now in heaven. You belong to a kingdom that you cannot control, a kingdom that is bigger, better than anything you could ever imagine. So why not begin to seek his desires? To be filled with the Spirit, we must be emptied of self. And this is what Paul is encouraging us to do today, to empty ourselves of ourselves.